Welcome to Advertising and IMC, Principles and Practice, Chapter 2, Advertising. Let's get started. Part 1, Principle, all communications, one voice. Key objectives. Describe the practice of advertising. Explain the evolution of the key concepts of advertising. Identify the key players and jobs within agencies. Discuss changes in the practice of advertising. Chapter Opener. Gatorade covers all the bases. No sweat, you just don't make the cut. In the C-Store campaign, that's the reason customers who don't reek of athleticism are cut from the Gatorade team and denied the privilege of downing their favorite drink. The commercials are the heart of the campaign, but the sweat it to get it theme was supported in signage in most convenience stores selling Gatorade. The practice of advertising. Advertising is a paid form of persuasive communication that uses mass and interactive media to reach broad audiences in order to connect an identified sponsor with buyers or a target audience, provide information about products, and interpret the product features in terms of the customer's needs and wants. How would any of you define modern advertising? How has it changed over time? Advertising's basic functions. Identification identifies a product or store where it's sold. Information. New printing technology made commercial messages available to the masses. And persuasion. With widespread marketing, recognizable brand names became more important. Advertising, a different proposition in the 19th century. P.T. Barnum was a pioneer in advertising and promotion. His flamboyant circus posters were more than just hype. What other roles did they perform? So what are the key components of advertising? Number 1, strategy. The logic behind an advertisement stated in objectives that focused on areas such as sales, emotional appeal, or brand reputation. Number 2, message. The concept behind a message and how it is expressed based on consumer insights. Number 3, media. Targets prospective buyers by matching their profiles to media audiences. Evaluation. Based on strategic objectives and professional standards. Of all these elements, evolution is perhaps the most important component of all. The 4 components of advertising: strategy, media, evaluation, and message. And this equals effectiveness. Principle. Effectiveness means meeting the stated objectives, which can be determined only if evaluation is built into the strategy. What are the common types of advertising? Brand advertising, focused on long-term brand identity and image. Retail or local advertising, focused on selling merchandise in a geographical area. And direct response advertising, which tries to stimulate an immediate customer response. Business to business or B2B advertising, sent from one business to another. Institutional advertising establishes a corporate identity and attempts to win the public over to the organization's point of view. Additional types of advertising: non-profit advertising, used by not-for-profit organizations to reach customers, members, volunteers, and donors. Public service advertising, usually produced and run for free on behalf of a good cause. And specialized advertising, used to address specific areas like healthcare, green marketing, and international campaigns. Brand advertising. This ad promotes a brand, crest, white strips, and provides information about the product as well as reasons to buy it. Retail advertising. Retailers sometimes advertise nationally, but much of their advertising is targeted to a specific market, such as the direct mail piece for the loft. Institutional advertising. This ad for a pharmaceutical trade association uses a heart-tugging visual and copy to show consumers the value of producing drugs that help save lives. Business to business or B2B advertising. Aflac used its memorable quirky duck in B2B advertising to create a brand identity and help business people understand how Aflac Insurance can be part of an employee benefit package at no direct cost to the company. What role does advertising perform? On the marketing communication role, it transforms a product into a distinctive brand by creating a brand image. Economic and societal roles. Advertising works to create demand for brands and lower prices for consumers. Advertising shapes our self-image and sense of style through things we wear and use. Principle. Advertising generates cost efficiencies by increasing demand among large groups of people, resulting in higher levels of sales and ultimately lower prices. The evolution of the key concepts of advertising. Eras and ages. A timeline of advertising eras and ages. The early age of print, 15th to 18th century. Mechanization encouraged businesses to advertise beyond their locations. The early age of agencies, 1840s to 1890s. As advertisers became concerned with creating ads that worked, professionalism took shape. The scientific era, 1900s to 1950s. Modern advertising adopted scientific research techniques. Art and science were blended. The creative era, 1960s to 1970s. The power of agencies exploded with a resurgence of art, inspiration, and intuition. To view some of the most creative advertising ever produced, go to www.leoburnett.com. A timeline of advertising eras and ages. The era of accountability and integration, 1970s to present. Clients want ads that produce sales. The public expects social responsibility. Managers adopted IMC to better coordinate brand communication. The social media era. In this new interactive world, consumers generate brand messages and share experiences on social media sites. Figure 2.2 shows a timeline. This goes from the early age of print to the early age of agencies. Figure 2.2 timeline. This shows the scientific and regulation era. Next is the creative revolution, the era of accountability, and the era of change, with integration, international, and internet playing a dominant role. The first ad by HN Marketing Communication in Reykjavik, Iceland, urged people to participate in recycling. The marketing strategy, concept, and platform is always positive, encouraging, and built around like colors. Advertising used to promote a social cause. The second ad by HN Marketing Communication in Reykjavik, Iceland, urged people to participate in recycling. The marketing strategy, concept, and platform is always positive, encouraging, and built around like colors. Based on your chapter readings, do you believe these print ads are effective? Why or why not? The advertising world. Modern advertising comes of age. The creative power of agencies exploded in the 1960s and 1970s, a period celebrated by the Mad Men television show and marked by the resurgence of art, inspiration, and intuition. Largely in reaction to the emphasis on research and science, this revolution was inspired by three creative geniuses: Leo Burnett, David Ogilvy, and William Birnbach. Who are the key players? The organization. The message sponsor or advertiser, likely to employ a marketing team that initiates the advertising effort. Hires the advertising agency. Figure 2.3, two advertising organization structures. The one on the left is when the advertiser doesn't have an in-house agency. The figure on the right is when the advertiser has an in-house agency. The advertising agency creates, produces, and distributes the messages, employs experts who are passionate about their work, and negotiates the best media deals for clients. The media, channels of communication that deliver messages and engage audiences. Many are large media conglomerates like Time, Warner, and Viacom. The mass media enable advertisers to reach many people with a single message in a cost-effective manner. Professional suppliers and consultants. They provide specialized services to advertisers and agencies. They include artists, writers, photographers, producers, printers, and vendors who supply user-generated content online. An outside supplier may be useful because the advertiser may not have specialized expertise, their people may be overloaded with work, they may want a fresh perspective. In the new world of digital media, consumer-generated content is supplied by the consumer, often via social media. Advertising is a team effort. Advertising relies on the expertise of many different people, such as television producers, graphic designers, photographers, printers, and musicians. Types of agencies. Full-service agencies encompass account management, creative services, media planning, and account planning. In-house agencies is a part of the advertiser's organization and helps to manage costs and control brand image. The A-list of advertising agencies. Here are a few of them to explore. Droga 5, RGA, Anomaly, and 72 and Sunny. Specialized agencies. They specialize in certain functions, audiences, industries, and markets. They are usually small agencies that work only on the creative execution of an idea or product. Media buying services. They specialize in the purchase of media for clients. Agency networks and holding companies. Those are usually large conglomerations of agencies under a central ownership. One or more agency networks, usually within multiple offices. How are agencies paid? Three main sources: commissions, which are based on media billings; fees, based on an hourly rate of project; also covers travel and various expenses; and retainers, a regular amount billed each month based on projected work. Two recent trends. Performance incentive. The agency is paid a percentage of the client's sales or marketing budget. Value billing. The agency is paid for its creative and strategic ideas rather than for executions and media placements. The five main ideas: account management, account planning and research, creative development and research, media research, planning and buying, and internal operations. Let's take a look at these key players and jobs within agencies. Account management. This team acts as a liaison between the client and agency. The account executive interprets the client's marketing research and strategy for the agency. Account planning and research. This team gathers market intelligence and acts as the voice of the consumer. Strategic specialists research consumers' wants, needs, and brand relationships. Creative development and production includes copywriters, art directors, and producers. Media research, planning, and buying provides research, planning, and buying services. And internal operations, which include traffic, print production, finance, and human resources. Collaboration is the key. Agencies may have people in specialized roles, but collaboration is still the basic organizing principle. Employees must collaborate across disciplines in planning strategies and searching for new marketing and advertising ideas. Changes in the practice of advertising. Consumer takes control. The days of pounding people with images, shoving them down their eyeballs are over. User-generated content creates valuable brand publicity. Consumers have taken control of media and marketing through digital and social media. Weakened media and blurred lines. Television is still a major player, but the number of cable channels has exploded. Digital media has fragmented the media world with new, ever-changing forms. And agencies must take a stronger leadership role in the development of brand strategy. Interactive communication and real-time advertising. Brands do still send messages, but so do consumers. Brand stewards must now be listeners and responders as well as senders. Managers listen through research, customer service comments, and social media. Effectiveness. Agencies must create advertising that delivers results and then prove its effectiveness once completed. Effective ads deliver the intended message and consumers respond as the advertiser hoped they would. The Effie Awards. Industry awards showcase the best in advertising and marketing communication. The Effie Award is given for the most effective ads. Other advertising award shows include Canada's Cassie Award, Cannes Lions Award, and the Silver Anvil Award. Integrated Marketing Communication, or IMC. The first principle of IMC is everything communicates. IMC is all about integration. IMC is the primary approach for total brand communication. Brand messages must complement one another and present the same basic brand strategy. What examples can you think of in which brand messages complement one another and present the same basic brand strategy? And explain your thinking. Looking ahead, we will introduce you to practices that generate effectiveness and results. We'll end each chapter with the results of the campaign that introduced the chapter. This chapter has provided an introduction to many of the basic concepts of advertising. We'll continue that introduction of principles and practices in public relations in Chapter 3. It's a wrap. Manning says you don't get it if you don't sweat it. Gatorade's Sweat It to Get It campaign broke Gatorade viewership records. It became the most watched Gatorade online series, garnering more than 23 million views. Key lessons. In addition to the celebrity factor, the humorous content worked well with teen and young adult athlete audiences. It featured real customers as participants that placed the audience at the center of the story. Thanks for watching. Please check out the other videos in this advertising series. Hey, thanks again.